See if you can complete these lines that were used in popular commercials. What melts in your mouth but not in your hands? Good. Good. You deserve a break today, My baloney has a first name. It's... Did you get them right? Are you starting to see how these commercials really work? All this information was programmed into your subconscious mind many, many years ago. Yet we ask the question, the information jumps instantly into your conscious mind, and across your lips comes the answer. And this happens without you taking the time to think about it. At face value, these little commercial jingles seem relatively harmless, but in reality, they're part of a very deliberate and calculated conditioning process put forth through mass media. Once we're conditioned, then they know how to trigger the impulses. Take a look at this. How does it make you feel? Is your mouth starting to water? Is your stomach starting to wiggle around? Some people can even begin to smell the aromas. Others can even taste it in their mouths. This type of conditioning has been refined and used with surgical precision to bombard us with billions of dollars worth of advertising that conditions us to believe that Coke is life, that Coke is the real thing, that McDonald's wants to see you smile, that if you eat a Whopper at Burger King, you'll be a superstar, that diet sodas will keep you slim and healthy. Drink Sprite and you'll be a NASCAR winner. We are conditioned to believe fast food and sugar-laden foods are cool, that eating them is normal. We've been conditioned to believe that fast food is fun and healthy, that foods made of super-processed sugar are normal to eat. Last year in the U.S., we consumed 600 million Big Macs, 8 billion chickens, that's 127 chickens per second, 20 billion hot dogs. In the summer of 2003, CNN ran this story about the connection between meat and cancer.
Women who eat foods rich in animal fat, such as red meat, cheese, ice cream, and butter, are more likely to develop breast cancer, especially if those animal fats are consumed in early adulthood. That is according to an 8-year study published today in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute. Dr. Len Lichtenfield is the Deputy Chief Medical Officer of the American Cancer Society. He joins me tonight from CNN Center in Atlanta. Thank you, Doctor, for making the house call. Welcome.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
If you could, for those of us that don't spend 20 hours a day analyzing medical journals, reduce this to a very simple formula as to what the correlation was between animal fat intake and breast cancer.
Well, Paul, very simply, the message is that we are learning more and more about how diet influences the risk of cancer. And this is one more bit of evidence that says if you eat a lot of red meat or a lot of animal fat, you are at increased risk of getting cancer if you're a premenopausal woman.
CNN also reported on their website that eating well-done meat can quadruple the risk of breast cancer in women. The American Cancer Society recently reported that you should limit red meat and alcohol to reduce your risk of cancer. Let me ask you a question. Would you do this to your kids? Of course not. Thank goodness. The truth about cigarettes is finally starting to take hold. But how many of us do this to our kids every day? And we do it because we've been conditioned to believe that it's normal, that it's okay. Have you ever noticed how candy machines and gumball machines are low to the ground at child's height? Ever wonder why that is? And what happens every time you walk by the candy displays with your kids? America is drowning in sugar. Sugar consumption has risen steadily since 1983 and is now at epidemic proportions. Everywhere you go, you and your children are bombarded with sugar. It's everywhere and in everything. Aisles of sugar water line our grocery stores. Mechanical sugar water dispensers serve up doses of sugar in hundreds of flavors, whether it be hot, cold, or frozen. So here's the question. What else has been increasing since 1983 along with sugar consumption? Childhood diabetes, childhood obesity, attention deficit disorder or ADD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD, learning disabilities, obesity-related heart disease, obesity-related cancer, obesity-related bone disease, type 2 onset diabetes. The worst part of the sugar epidemic is that our children are suffering the most. Overweight children are likely to be overweight for life and suffer serious, lifelong health consequences and emotional problems as a result. It is estimated by the year 2012 that 1/3 of adults will suffer from some form of diabetes. But what is this mysterious type 2 onset diabetes, and what causes it? When you consume large amounts of highly processed refined sugars like sodas, candy, high fructose corn syrup, refined flour products, and artificial sweeteners, your blood sugar levels increase to dangerous levels. These processed sugars cross the blood-brain barrier so quickly that your brain sends a message to your pancreas to release insulin in order to slow down and reduce the blood sugar level. Over time, this overproduction of insulin puts an enormous strain on your pancreas, year after year after year, until eventually it just wears out. When your pancreas can no longer keep up with your body's demand for insulin, caused by the refined sugars that some continue to eat, the blood sugar levels increase and then remain there. This condition is what the healthcare industry calls diabetes. Then we can purchase medication to reduce our blood sugar levels. But this medication can create stress on the other vital organs and cause us to experience serious side effects. Over time, the medication becomes ineffective. So the healthcare industry gives you more medication and then eventually insulin. And the more medication we take, the less insulin our pancreas can produce on its own until we are completely reliant on medication to stay alive. And right now, we're being conditioned to believe that diabetes is normal. It's just a disease that a lot of people get. But thank goodness for the healthcare industry, because they've got what we need. Those wonderful, friendly companies will take care of us so we can go on living a somewhat normal life. The simple truth is that type 2 onset diabetes can be completely avoided by adopting 4 healthy habits. Number 1, drink plenty of water. Drink 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. Stay hydrated. Without the blood volume produced by water, the body's organs, including the brain, cannot function at optimum levels. The blood thickens, blood pressure increases, organs, even cells are stressed. Veins, capillaries, and arteries can collapse, weaken, or even burst, and water is essential for your pancreas to function properly. Number 2, eating a lot of fiber. Fiber simply means anything that grows out of the ground. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes. Another term for these are whole foods. The nutritional fibers contained in whole foods slow the blood sugar absorption of glucose or blood sugar, diminishing the need for your body to produce insulin. Number 3, cut out highly refined processed sugars. Dietary sugars are called carbohydrates. They come in 2 basic forms: simple, called fast sugars, and complex, called slow sugars. Processed sugars like soda, candy, flour, and chemical sweeteners dissolve quickly in the blood as very small molecules. For this reason, they are called fast sugars. Fast sugars can cause the pancreas to produce and pump insulin into the blood. This makes you feel tired, slows you down, and de-energizes you in order to protect you from the sugar overload that the brain interprets as a life and death crisis. Fruit and other whole foods are typically complex, large molecules of slow sugar that cause the glucagons or energy to be released by the pancreas to vitalize you, give you energy, and make you feel great. Number 4, exercise. Go walking every day for 30 to 45 minutes. Moderate exercise burns off excess sugars very quickly and reduces the need for the pancreas to overproduce insulin, and is essential to balancing blood sugar levels. Start drinking more water. Start eating more whole foods and slow complex whole food sugars like fruits and fresh juices. Get out there and do some walking, and you can virtually eliminate the risk of type 2 onset diabetes and prevent diabetes in your children. And guess what? There's no warning labels or side effects with this prescription. The problem with this kind of information is not that it's true. It is true. The problem is that you got it for free. We have been programmed to place little or no value on the truth that is free. Now here's the truth about high blood pressure and hypertension. It's not natural, it's not hereditary, and it's not caused by eating too much salt. According to a 1997 study at Oregon Health University, a daily intake of 6 to 8 glasses of water with natural whole food sources of potassium, calcium, and magnesium, along with a liberal intake of salt, will not raise blood pressure and in most cases would lower it. The truth is this: high blood pressure is primarily caused by consuming too many animal fats, trans fats, partially hydrogenated oils, sodas, diet sodas, and caffeine. It is also caused by chronic dehydration, not drinking enough water, a lack of fiber, not eating enough plant-based whole foods, and a lack of exercise. It's criminal how the medical community is treating this condition. First, they tell you to stop the salt, which is essential for you to stay hydrated. You cut out the salt and you become dehydrated, which means all your arteries, veins, and blood vessels constrict and shrink, crinkle, and your blood thickens, and your heart has to work harder to push the blood through your veins. Thus, your blood pressure rises. Next, they give you a pill to lower your cholesterol. Instead of telling you to cut out the animal fats and drink more water, just take this pill that will destroy your liver and kidneys, and you can keep eating the animal fats. Then they give you a blood thinner medication, instead of telling you just to drink more water and cut out the sodas and caffeine. Now, what sounds right to you? Cut out the animal fats and trans fats, drink more water, eat more fiber, and exercise, or take the medications that destroy your organs and potentially cause more serious health conditions, and keep eating and drinking the same thing and not exercising.